Welcome back to Jude's Tiny House Truck Travels. Yesterday I was undertaking one of my monthly maintenance tasks on my off-grid system when I realised that I hadn't given you guys any information about the off-grid system at all, so I thought I'd do a little bit of a video on it. I hope you enjoy it. So this is one of the hatches that I've got underneath my false floor in the kitchen, and it holds all the paraphernalia that makes the electrical system go. So the first of these is the solar controller. So basically it takes the energy that's coming through the solar panels that are up on the roof, which I'll show you a bit later. This here is the inverter. So basically the whole house is on 240 volts and that's what converts everything. That there is the converter that takes energy from the truck and puts it into the batteries. And when I'm plugged it into power, that charger there charges up the batteries as well. And that little thing there is a Bluetooth device that hooks up to my phone, so I've got a little app that it will tell me how my batteries are doing. And speaking of batteries, here they are hiding under here, very dirty as you can see. So that's one of my monthly tasks. I have to check the water in those. I started out with 2 solar panels on the roof but added another one, so now I've got about 800 watts up there. And I'd like to thank the Living Big in a Tiny House, Russa and Bryce, for that drone shot. This plug is for when I want to plug into 240 volt. Doesn't happen very often. And when I do, I just switch that switch over and the whole house goes through the power grid. So another part of my off-grid system is what to do with the grey water and the toilet waste. In New Zealand we can't put our grey water onto the ground when we're out camping. So this is a cool setup that I've got underneath that a wonderful guy in Whanganui did for me. So these 2 tanks here are both grey water tanks. And you can see there's a pipe in between there joining them up. And this one at the end here is the black water tank. So this is where all the waste from the toilet goes. So we've got a quite ingenious system. So there's a gate there, what they call a gate, and another gate there. So the pipe hooks up there and goes into a dump station. Public dump stations, we've got them all around New Zealand. And then I pull that lever there out, which I won't do now, and it empties the black tank. When the black tank's empty, I then pull that gate out. So if I pull that, it opens that gate there. And then the grey water goes through the black tank and helps clean it out a bit. So that's what I do with my grey and black waste. Once a week there's about 200 litres of storage in there. About once a week I have to go and empty those out. Freshwater storage is underneath the truck. So there's one tank there, and behind there's another tank. So between the 2 of those tanks there's 200 litres, and he's done it that way for weight distribution, so they haven't got all the weight from the water in one particular place. There's a lot of thinking went behind how he placed everything underneath. And the other thing that makes this tiny house off-grid are the gas bottles. So there you have the gas hookup system in there. There's a spare bottle in on the other side there as well. So the gas only runs my stove and my shower, getting my hot water. So I probably go through one of those every 4 months maybe. It costs about $30 to fill it. So that's a pretty cheap way of living. Up above the cab, underneath that cowling there, it's a bit hard to see, but that is my continuous hot water supply. And that's supposedly where I get my hot water. But unfortunately, because it takes so long for the water to come all the way down those pipes, go all the way under and then back up again, the only time I use that hot water system is when I have a shower in the morning. Heating in my tiny house is done through this wonderful piece of equipment here. It's called a little flick. It's made by an amazing guy in Taupo. And he's put a lot of thought into how he makes them, because there's not one single weld on the outside of that fireplace. Unfortunately, I can't show you the inside of it because I've got stuff in there waiting to get burnt. Unfortunately, these are not sent out of the country, but if you're in New Zealand and want to know more about them, I can put you in touch with the maker. So flick me through a message and I will let you know all about it. And that's the wood box where I store all my wood. All my cooking is done through the gas hob and oven. Way too big for just me, but at the time I'd run out of money, so I was trying to buy things from commercial stores where I could put things onto a finance card. So that's why I ended up with an oven from Noel Lemon. And of course my fridge is just a normal Samsung household fridge. It's the smallest of the digital inverter type of fridge that I could get. Again, it's too big for me, but when you've got all this space, why not? And it just runs through the 240 volt system. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please make sure to share with all your friends and subscribe to the channel because there'll be more up soon.